I should explain to the audience why I was not on recently, but
go ahead.
Nah, I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
Yeah, the little mystery is what's worthwhile. Today with us, we have Davenport, Iowa's second greatest athlete. Got to give Seth Rollins his credit. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The greatest female athlete, professional wrestler, and gamer, Tori Fox is with us today. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here. Happy we could finally make this happen. Work around my schedule.
I like your earphones.
Thank you.
Do you wear those when you game, or?
Yeah, I kind of just use them for everything because even though it is like a really nice headset, like just the sound quality is just really good. So yeah. I just use them for everything. So every podcast that I've been on, I've wore these every single time. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just make this an every time thing, I guess. Why not?
So how did professional wrestling hook you in?
I was 10 years old, so it was like 2011. My mom was dating a guy at the time, and he was really, really into it. I hadn't had like any like prior experience, like didn't really know who anybody was. So I remember he was watching SmackDown one night. It was John Cena in the Big Show. So I wandered into the living room, la-di-da, probably going to annoy my mom about something. And I saw it, and I was a little curious. I was a little interested. So I stayed in there. I immediately really liked John Cena because, ultimate baby face, and I was a child. So I was like, wow, this guy is really cool. Like, this is fun. Like, I could sit here and watch the rest of this. And then I remember after that match, the Divas came on, and I think Kelly was the first one to come out. And I was like, wow, like, girls do this too? Like, that's kind of awesome. So I feel like from that moment, like immediately, like I was watching Raw and SmackDown every week. Like at the time, like Saturday Morning Slam was a thing. So I was watching that on the weekends at 10 in the morning. And yeah, I mean, and the more I watched, like the more I was like, I don't really know what I want to do with my life. But now I feel like I found something. Like this is very fun, very captivating. Like, I never really, growing up from then on, I was like, I don't really know what I want to do. Like, I went to college for like a year. That was the COVID year, so that was 2020 when I was in college. And at that point, I wasn't really sure if wrestling was like I still really wanted to do it, but like I didn't know if it was like something I could actually do. So then I dropped out of college after a year, and here I am.
College is overrated anyways.
So always been in the back of the mind, kind of gave up on it. Just a lot of bullying, a lot of doubt from everybody, But I finally pulled the plug. I moved out here to Iowa. I'm originally a Wisconsin girl. So it was my first time being away from home, and I signed up for Black and Brave. Merrick Brave sent me an email overnight saying that I got accepted. So I was like, oh, this is actually happening. Okay, let's do it.
You see, this is what it drives me crazy about. People would say like wrestling would like discourage people to watch wrestling, become a wrestler. It's wrestling. You know that stuff's fake. You have that in your mind, and you think to yourself, wait a second, motherfuckers. They just, what's this? They're with President Trump right now, Triple H. He's signing orders and stuff like that. It's like, wait a second here. This is something not natural. It's like what you're saying. All I see is Triple H with Trump signing like all these bills and shit. There's Mr. Stoner.
Yeah.
Hello. Welcome.
Hello. Don't mind me. I'm like still running about in the muck, and
that's what I was doing earlier. It was my day off from work, so I was like, you know what? Let's get some stuff done today. Then let's go to the gym. Then let's go home. So
well, everybody asked me to do something like 10 minutes before showtime. Like, really? We have a couple of hours. I mean, at least it's a nice night out.
Oh, there we lost him.
We're doing barrel rolls. No, I was gonna say it's a nice night. At least it's 73 degrees. I won't be in the car the whole time. I am gonna get to my studio. We at least not are far from the house. But pleasure to meet you. Thank you for coming on to VTV.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. Thanks for waiting on me and my stupid schedule that I never have a free day.
We never said this show was pretty. We never said it was a pretty show. We just said it was a show. It was pretty, organized, beautiful. Just
Hey, we haven't even got to the kids section. Wait till I get home and the kid starts hopping around.
that's why I'm in my studio. No kids.
Same. Just a cat. No kids, just a kitty on the floor.
No kids. Kids are with the mother. They're happy. They're going swimming. And I'm just chilling.
And my cat thinks I'm talking to my computer right now.
Well, I think cats find us all very amusing. I think they're a lot smarter than people think. I think they know what we're doing, and I think they just laugh at our idiocracies as humans.
I think they like to play dumb a little bit.
Definitely. I mean,
Because they know they can get away with it.
They know they can get away with it. They're clearly smarter than dogs in a lot of ways, for the most part. Now, there are some breeds of dogs that are super intelligent and so forth, but for the average dog, I feel, compared to the average cat has much more survival instincts, much more, and just, it's much more smarter.
Come here.
But they, I don't know. I never really was a pet person because I'm allergic to all these pet furs.
Oh, yeah. I'm not allergic to anything.
I can do, like, it depends on certain breeds of animals have like a similar enough hair to a human that I won't get allergic, but everything else I'll be like red-eyed, itching, scratching, like within about an hour.
That's how my dad is. So he has a hairless cat. He has a Sphinx, so it doesn't bother him anymore. I didn't actually even get to meet the cat I have now until I fully moved here from Wisconsin. I ended up meeting somebody during training who is now my boyfriend, who is also a wrestler, and this is his kitty, so now it's ours. So I've only known her since December. But I think she likes me more than him already.
Sometimes it's like that. You know, if the cat, animals are funny like that. If they don't like you, they'll let you know.
I think she's a girl's girl is what it is. Like whenever I'm like getting ready for shows or like brushing my hair or literally just doing like just any girly things, like she'll just come sit there and watch.
Yeah, we know how that is. We know how that is when we do our hair and
Only maybe me. I'm the only one with hair.
It's all right.
You got it easy.
Mine's not real anymore. I cut off most of it in like 2023 and like dyed it blue, and then my hair like doesn't grow past like here anymore. So I was like, you know what? I guess it's time to get extensions because it looks better for wrestling cinematics. Anyways, it's more hair to like whip around and whatnot. So I was like, all right, good investment.
at least you don't have the missing gap that we have right there. That's
The thing. Okay, folks, I am going to be back. I'm going to switch over to my studio and do my whole thing.
All right.
I will be back soon. I have the link, though.
All right.
Yeah, you guys do. Yeah. Welcome to the chaotic world of VTV.
It's funny that you say that because, like, at my home promotion, SCW Pro with Merrick Brave, I'm in like a trio faction right now, and both of the guys in there are bald, so I am the only one that's not, and I love it. I think it's so funny.
Can't pull the hair down. That's boring.
They were like, once I joined the faction, they were like, well, you're gonna have to wear a bald cap now or shave your head, and I was like, no, I don't want to do either of those.
In your opinion, what makes professional wrestling magical?
Magical. So many things go into it. I think the top thing is definitely telling a story. Like when an outsider looks at wrestling, I feel like they're fake fighting. Whoop-de-doo. Like I feel like not many people know like that it is an art. It is like a story that you're telling. Like I mean, we have so many good stories going on right now, like in WWE especially. Like we have the CM Punk and the Seth Rollins story, and we have the John Cena and the Brock Lesnar story now, and that's what I feel like a lot of people miss, like when they're on the outside and they're really quick to judge. But also, like, even outside of that, I do feel like the production in wrestling is so magical as well. Like, I remember a couple months ago, me and a few other graduates got invited to do extra work at SmackDown and Raw. So we got to be backstage, and we were there, I think, from like 11 in the morning to like showtime, which was 7 our time, Central Time. And like it was so cool seeing everything put together, like the lights, the trons, the music. Like, they have to like rehearse their entrances, like, and make sure the lights are working. And I feel like that's a really cool thing to see, especially when you're kind of like up close and personal, like backstage, like everyone's kind of setting up. And I feel like it's just like a big group project. Like even on the indies too, like everyone plays a part. And I don't know, I just think that's kind of magical in a way for me. But I know like my dad always says it's really cool too. Honestly, it's kind of like seeing the setup like for a concert or play or like a movie set. Like
I know exactly what you're talking about. When we started sponsoring shows around the New England area, one show was coming in like before our doors open for the fans. So we're like, all right, cool. We go inside and we see like the wrestlers in the ring and turn off your sound, everyone, if you don't want kayfabe to be ruined. But anyways, see all the wrestlers talk, go over strategies and stuff like that. And I would just like kind of like start like, whoa, this is the behind the scenes shit. This is the behind the scenes. And my dad came with me, and he just like, isn't this boring? I was like, no, this is the greatest fucking thing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I don't think it's boring.
Great behind the scenes. This is great,
So extra work was a really, really cool way to just kind of be a part of that world for a little bit. Getting to talk to a lot of the people was really cool too. So I'm just rambling about extra work now, but it really was a cool experience, and honestly, like a blessing to be invited there so very early in my career. Like I graduated in, what's my cat doing? Where'd she go? I just heard I don't know.
See, the cat's up to no good.
Yep. She's doing something. I don't know where she is. Maybe she's at my feet. I don't know. But like so early in my career to be invited to that, like I graduated November of 2024. I had my first match in February of this year. And, a couple months later, we're getting an email from WWE inviting us to go there. So I always think that was super cool. And I love to share that experience with people. And I honestly hope everybody who's working on the indies gets a chance to do that. Like, no, it doesn't guarantee you like a spot on TV or like, like an important role in the show, but it was so cool.
If you're a wrestling fan, it has to be cool.
Yeah. I mean, like everyone's like, don't mark out. But if you're wrestling, you're kind of a mark, whether you like it or not. So, I mean, it's nerve-wracking being there. Like, it really is. Like, Triple H is walking past you, and I'm like, you don't, I don't know. It's like the energy is just so, I don't even know how to explain it, but you just feel like you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Especially with kayfabe, obviously, but that's kind of gone after the Unreal series. But actually, the series was really good. I enjoyed it.
I do not believe at all that was 100% unscripted. I was like, really? No, some of this has to be scripted to make them look good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a very big believer on. I'm going to use football for example. I'm a big NFL fan, and I'll watch the games and I'll cheer for the teams, but I know behind the scenes, it's probably dirty as hell. The corruption, the money and stuff like concussions. I can acknowledge that, but I can also watch the show.
Yeah.
WWE is just, to me, it's just like, I can watch shows from time to time, but the whole Triple H claiming Cena wanted Lesnar back, and then Cena coming out saying like he didn't ask, they wind him up, he knocks him down. That's what he does.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's wrestling. Why do you have to say petty lies to protect yourself?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot going on in the wrestling world right now that's very controversial. Like,
I mean,
I mean, with the lawsuit going on, I wasn't sure that Brock was gonna come back. Like, I know a lot of people wanted him to because he's obviously a big draw for the company, but like, I wasn't sure. Like, I really thought that was it. Like, I thought they were gonna close the show and everything was gonna be normal, and all of a sudden here comes Brock Lesnar, and I'm like, wow, like.
After I already, someone made a comment, we had a SummerSlam watch along on VTV, and someone asked me as a like, hey, what do you think if Lesnar came back tonight? And I said, if Lesnar comes back tonight, next episode I'm recording, I'm gonna stand up, get naked, and quit on the air.
Oh God!
And when he came out, everyone's like looking at me, and I was just like, I was drinking. You cannot hold me liable for my comments when I was drinking.
Yeah, obviously. I'm from Wisconsin. I know all about that. Everything after one sip of alcohol is not me.
Yeah, I said during the show, I said Lesnar. I saw credits. I saw a credit coming through. So that's after the show. That's not.
Yeah, but I know everyone has their opinions on the wrestling world right now. Like, at the end of the day, I really try not to get political in the wrestling world because it's not needed. Like, there's already so much going on in the real world. Like, why do we need to bring that into something, that we all love and enjoy? Like, but it's a little questionable with the lawsuit going on, but I feel like nobody really knows the details except for, who's involved. Like, did he get cleared to come back? Did he not get cleared? Like, who knows? Like, why are the press conferences being discontinued? Is it because that he's not cleared to come back? Like, I don't know. Like, there's so many questions that I want answered.
Yeah, Dave Meltzer said the press conferences were discontinued because Lesnar's returning.
Yeah, and honestly, that
can't blame him. You can't really exactly blame it because if everything's dropped in this lawsuit, Triple H just look like a genius.
Yeah,
bring him back.
100%.
But if it's not and it goes through, I mean, I made a comment that people don't like. I said TKO could probably use Triple H as just throwing him underneath the bus, saying like, "Hey, we didn't hire this guy back. He did."
Yeah.
So it's very, and so all this is it's professional wrestling. It's professional wrestling. Growing up, I was Hillbilly Jim, Junkyard Dog, Andre the Giant, and now you read on social media people threatening to kill each other's mother over professional wrestling.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that, like, when I'm watching the show, like, I like to doom scroll on Twitter and I like to see what everyone's saying because, like, I don't know, was there something I missed? Was there, like, a hint to a new storyline that I missed? And after SummerSlam, it was literally Brock Lesnar haters and Brock Lesnar lovers just button heads, like, still, like, today. Like, I logged onto Twitter again and it was the same thing. Like, it's kind of a mess right now.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, Twitter right now is anything goes mentality.
But, I mean, I feel like that was bound to happen. And I feel like Triple H knows that. So yeah. I mean, as much as I would like to get answers, like, it's smart to not have the press conferences if you don't want to answer those kinds of questions. Because if they had a press conference after that, that's all the questions would be about. That is literally it.
Tiffany Stratton would come out and be like, "Yeah, who cares about Brock Lesnar?"
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm trying to focus more on the product. Like, I appreciate that it is a callback to the Lesnar Cena feud because that feud was a big part of my childhood. Like, I remember Lesnar just demolishing Cena at SummerSlam. And I remember sitting in my bed and I was crying because at that point I still thought it was real and I thought he, like, killed John Cena.
16 German suplexes.
Yeah, and I was like, when he came out this year, I was like having like war flashbacks.
I mean, that had to be the shock of the century.
Honestly, like,
Just
even though honestly, like, same thing with the Seth cash-in. this year. Like 2015 Rollins was on a whole different level. I hated that man growing up. I hated him. Like, and he's my coach now, and that's so cool and awesome. But like, I like that though I still wrestle. Like, it does make me feel something. And Seth cashing in on CM Punk did make me feel some kind of way. So I feel like they're doing a really good job with the stories they're telling right now. So,
do you think SummerSlam was kind of until this cash-in happened? The cash-in happened was the highlight. That was the whole like, oh shit, he's cashing in because everyone thought he had a knee injury.
So I would rate like SummerSlam like kind of like a 7 out of 10 because like I'm a huge CM Punk fan. So him winning the title for me was super cool as a lifelong fan. I was actually there in Chicago when he returned at Survivor Series. So I always look back at that moment being super cool, and like I was really happy for him, especially after watching the Unreal documentary. He's just, you could tell he's a very emotional guy, and you know, I feel like he's had kind of a rougher journey than everyone else. So I was really happy. And then Seth Rollins came out to ruin that for me. So thanks, coach.
Yeah. I mean, I felt a certain way when Brock Lesnar came out. That ruined the whole night for me.
We were just talking about that. What are your thoughts on the
for
matter?
many reasons? I mean, let's take the whole scandal away. Let's take all the accusations away. Let's take everything, the whole Janelle Grant case away. For the last, like, I don't know, however long I can remember, I always thought that Brock was just a plague and a thorn in the side of WWE. He was good for what he was good for, but he was overused. His feuds with Roman never drew. People were walking out of the main events at a certain point. People were booing. People were booing both of these guys. And you know, they just kept getting pitted against each other. A returning Brock now, I don't see how it enhances the product in the direction that WWE wants to go. WWE is trying to push this new Evolve. They're trying to push an ID program. They want young kids. Why are we bringing back a 40-year-old person that might be convicted of felonies or who knows to take the spot when, you know, Cena could have put somebody much younger over, or Cena didn't have to put anybody over. Cena could have just kept winning and then retired the title.
That's kind of the route I thought they were going.
I thought he honestly was the same thing. That was the shock of the night when he lost, because I thought they were just going to give him the title. They would have retired that title under his name. We would have been given a new WWE title with a new lineage and started fresh, like we've done many times before in the universe. But I find it funny. You rated SummerSlam kind of high, but now I can see why. Like, what year did you start watching wrestling?
I started watching in 2011.
Okay, so yeah, so from 2011 to that point, if that's all you ever watched, and that's what was your like passion, I could see where you got that number. I started in like 85. It's a little bit longer.
Yeah. Well,
so seeing like crazy, yeah, a lot older. But seeing like, I mean, I was a little kid then, but I mean, even when I was like mid-teenage, I was living through the Attitude Era, seeing like Stone Cold and stuff. So like, for me, those SummerSlams, I don't think for me personally will ever get better than like 2001, 2002. Anything over than me after that, I just wasn't into. I was at a different age. Now, had I gone into the CM Punk era, which I know, and I've talked to a lot of fans that have, they have a total different outlook of, you know, when WWE's like the highest points were. Me, I'm still like an 80s, 90s fan because I like those crazy characters. I like these bigger than larger than life people that came out. Yeah. You're not going to see a King Kong Bundy anymore. You're not going to see an Andre the Giant. You're not going to see a Haystacks Calhoun. You're not going to see these guys. You're going to see athletes.
Yeah. And honestly, like, that's kind of where I'm a little iffy about, like, I guess the new era is, I mean, because as much as I started watching in 2011, like, as soon as I was hooked on it, like, I was hooked. Like, I would go through the 80s, I'd go through the 90s, and go through the 2000s, and, like, I feel like the characters back then were just so much more, like, exaggerated and more out there compared to now. Like, I feel like now it's a lot of college athletes, and, like, there's nothing wrong with that, but, like, I do feel like the last like really great character that we've had, it is Bray Wyatt. And
Yes.
his work was incredible. Like no one's ever gonna touch him, but like people were so drawn to that, and I feel like we need more of that. Like his return at Extreme Rules, that place went nuts. Like I went nuts at home. Like it's so cool.
Like I said, at 2003, it put me out of high school. 2001 put me out of high school, but 2003, in college, I'm watching barely now at this point. Life's starting to catch you, working, you're starting to get friends have stopped watching wrestling. People are like, whatever. A big heartbreak for me, if you want to think about it, was, out of high school, I wanted to be a pro wrestler. I went down to the Killer Kowalski school. I always tell a story, but it just goes to show you the time and change in wrestling. I went in there looking to be a wrestler. They looked at me and was like, no, you're 5'8", 100, 8, low weight, low height. Maybe, a referee would suit you or something. I was like, I ain't having that. If I went into a school now, 5'8's fine. You could be any height. They'll take you and teach you how to wrestle. They don't necessarily need to be this big, massive man. You just need to be in shape or learn to be in shape enough to have your match.
Yeah.
Back then, wrestlers had a specific look that they were just going for.
Right. And honestly, though, I feel like it is a good thing now, though, that they are taking, people of many shapes and sizes. We get some of the all-time greats out of there. Like, we get Rey Mysterio, we get Daniel Bryan, so I think it's cool that they have kind of broken out of that mold. Like, yes, the golden era is a classic, but, things have to evolve and change over time. Like, you can't have 20 Hulk Hogan's, RIP, but it will get stale, if everybody's the same.
No, the only thing you can kind of do, I think, is we could get more larger men in wrestling, or bigger men, or more giants. I know we had people like Braun Strowman and stuff, but still, to me, that just screamed large and in shape. We never have no more like largely artist shape people, even though those wrestlers were actually in shape. Like Andre was in shape.
Yeah.
Earthquake was in shape. These people had the stamina and endurance. They just didn't look physically fit.
Mm-hmm.
But
NWA back in the day, the wrestlers there were known as type of wrestlers that would come out of a boardroom, they'll come out of a bar, they'll beat the crap out of each other, and they go away. I always say this. I always say this. The difference was back then is if you looked at some of those wrestlers, all they could do in your eyes was wrestle. There was nothing else these people were used for society. They were probably shunned, that character, whoever they were. They looked animalistic. They looked crude. They were rough, ragged. They looked like fighters, battlers, combatants. Today, everybody, like I said, looks like athletes, or they could be working a side job at Starbucks, or they could be, engineers. They could be doing multiple things. Whoa!
I've seen many of people wrestling on the weekends and then doing Starbucks after.
Yep, unfortunately, for a lot of us, wrestling doesn't pay the bills yet, which is why people like me are stuck working at Hooters during the week for a 9 to 5. So,
there's nothing wrong with that. The only difference was people were doing it back then too, but they just had the perception that they couldn't do that.
Right.
People are going to look at you and they're going to be like, why are you putting your body through that? Why aren't you in Hollywood acting? Why aren't you dancing? Why aren't you at Hooters full time? Why aren't you doing something more with what you got than going to put your body through, extreme pain and punishment every weekend?
Yeah. A lot of my customers that come in at Hooters, when I get new people that are my regulars, and they're like, what's your story? And I'm like, oh, I'm a professional wrestler when I'm not here. And they're like, what? You? And I'm like, yeah.
Nowadays it's so expensive. You almost have to strip your way through wrestling school. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
People used to do it to college. Now it's just to get through the pro wrestling school.
It was a hefty investment. Luckily, my parents, were able to help me because I was actually here in Davenport kind of just checking it out because I had my other friend who was interested in the school. So we came here to go to the school, look at the gym, seeing if, just what we could see, look at the area. And I ended up sending pictures to my mom. And I was like, this place is awesome. Like, this place is definitely where I would train when or if I sign up. And she was like, sign up right now. And I was like, what? Like, I don't have the money for this right now. And she was like, sign up right now. And me and your dad are going to help you. Like, you know, this is something you've wanted for so long. And, you know, we want to be there to be part of this journey and to help you, you know, financially, like whatever you need. So I'm really grateful for that, because honestly, if they didn't do that, I don't know if, you know, I would have done it. Like,
Yeah, it is an investment, especially, and it's not just a financial investment. It's an investment in yourself. It's an investment in your time. It's not something you can just kind of hop in, throw the money, and be like, okay, I'm going to do. Like, you want to give it your all because you want to be the best you can be in that ring.
right.
Let me ask you, how did you know that school was like credible and reputable? Because there's so many schools out there. You don't, you know, some schools could have, you know, poor trainers, or it could be a marked gimmick, you know, just to get people in the door. How do you know that school would, you know, was a good school? They have like good credentials? Did you like see students out of there?
Yeah, so I did a lot of research over the years on a lot of different schools. Like, they had like smaller schools in Wisconsin, but like wasn't tied to a WWE name, so was kind of iffy about it. I do remember checking out Mr. Kennedy's school out in Minnesota, because that was also 3 hours away from my home at the time in Milwaukee. But at the time, his website was down. Like, they were doing like some rebranding on the website, so I couldn't sign up for his. So then I did research on, you know, Seth Rollins and his school, and I knew one of the graduates at the time, and I was asking him, and he was like, you don't want to train anywhere else. Like, this place will whip you into shape physically, will whip you into shape mentally, and you really do get like a bang for your buck here. Like, they have student housing for when you are here to train, which was a really big green flag. Because obviously, moving out of state,
3 hours rides and commute,
yeah,
it's a hike.
yeah. So the
Because you
housing
end up
was really awesome. Yeah,
because you end up getting into, you know, the rut of some people. You know, the 3 hours is fine at first. They go for the first 3 months. They train 3 times a week, and then all of a sudden that ride sucks, and they're only going once a month. But they're still taking bookings everywhere.
yeah,
But they're only training now once a month because it's a 3 hour ride to the school. But they're wrestling, so it's no big deal. But you can start to see over time that this person hasn't been training anymore.
mm-hmm.
Because, you know,
So
you
yeah,
can get ring rust fast. I mean,
right.
it happens.
It does come very fast. So I would say the housing was a big green flag. As far as payment, you paid your first half up front when you got accepted, and then the second half of your payment was due 30 days before your actual class started. So I had
No,
2
you said
years.
accepted, so you had to apply.
Yeah, so I had to apply online, send in pictures, kind of write my life story out, and you know, I wasn't sure I was gonna get accepted, because I've always I'm a good height, but I've always been like just very skinny, very slim, like not really able to grow muscle a lot. So I was like, they're not gonna accept me, like, but
Did
they
you have
did.
to did you have to praise the Shield like a bunch of times in the letter?
No,
Okay. I didn't know if you have to like grease the wagon and grease the wheel down there.
yeah, Seth wasn't even my favorite member of the Shield, so thank God.
Oh, the Moxley was the key, but nobody wants to talk about that.
He was my favorite.
But no, that's awesome. I've actually seen, you know, his merch of the school sold down in this area, like different places. And, you know, Seth Rollins obviously one of the top superstars in, you know, wrestling right now. And
Yeah,
probably this era of wrestling, I would say. You know, it's hard to say when people say like who's the best wrestler of all time, because those people weren't facing these people, and what people wanted out of wrestling was totally different. What
right.
people wanted out of 1998 women's match is probably nothing that you would feel comfortable doing today,
Yeah,
unless you were working at Hooters.
yeah, literally.
You know, you might as well just stay there, because it literally was like that. There was no wrestling. It was just all objectifying.
Yep.
I hate to say it, but it was. And the fans didn't care because females were flashing people in the stands and everybody
Yeah.
was just doing that thing. But that was fine then. But that wouldn't fly today. And that wouldn't have flied 20 years from then. In 1980, people would have been appalled by that. They would have wanted to see women fighting.
Yeah. 90s were a wild time for women's wrestling.
Yeah, it went all over the place. It went from Alondra Blaze to Playboy.
Yeah, I mean, I do still have like an appreciation for that era and like the Divas era because I grew up with the Divas. I grew up, in the 2010s with Kelly Kelly and Eve and Maurice, and like they did what they were given. Like they didn't really have a chance to speak out about it, but honestly, not many girls would stand for that. They'd be like, fuck this. Like this isn't what I signed up for. But they did pave the way for what we have today, and I'm really grateful for that because we get these awesome triple threats that we're seeing at WrestleMania and SummerSlam, and the women are getting like 20 minutes. Like I think that's so cool, and I don't think
And
that would have been possible without the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s
no,
era.
you
Like they
you
all play
needed
a part.
you needed that. You even needed women like China to come out to show that she was as strong as a man, could do what a man could do.
Absolutely.
And that, that paved the way for a whole intergender on the indie scene, seeing stuff like that. I know WWE and AEW don't really touch intergender, but on the indie scene, it thrives. People love that stuff. And when it's done right, it tells a really good story.
Yeah, it's
You know, I, I, I
it's really fun. It's definitely one of my favorite things to do is wrestling the guys.
yeah, because I mean, in the world of wrestling, these, it doesn't matter. Everybody's on the same level. You're all in the same universe or federation, promotion, whatever you want to call it. I call it a universe. I feel like when I step into a wrestling show, I'm entering their universe for the 2 to 3 hours I'm escaping. If I go into this universe, everybody's on the same par. You guys are all battling each other. There's no reason why a girl can't fight a guy can't fight a girl. The rules are kind of out the window of social norms because at the end of the day, we want the women to be as strong as the men. And if they can't win that world title, what are we saying? We're not saying that they're as strong as the men. They should always be able to win that world title.
I agree.
Women's titles are great, but to be able to take the title from the guy, we've had, female IWTV champions like Chris Statlander and such to pave that way. Masha Slamovich did a tremendous job in TNA, I feel.
Yes.
And we need more of that where we see these females kind of dominate the male market just because they can, because we're in that universe that they can. It's great that, like I said, that they have their own women's titles and so forth, and that division is there, but there's also, a bunch of women that are on par, both physically and, like I said, competitively at the same level of wrestling as the guys are. I mean, just fact.
I thought Rhea Ripley was going to be in the men's rumble, by now. So I'm waiting. Like people went crazy when, Nia Jax was in the rumble, when Karma was in the rumble. Like it's always a good story to tell.
And Versace really means that because before Tessa Blanchard won the men's world championship, she beat his boy Brian Cage. So if he beat one of his favorites, and he's like giving her.
But you know what? She deserved that title. That was a good match.
That was a very good match.
And you know what? At the end of the day, Tessa Blanchard comes from a long line of wrestling heritage. She out-wrestled Brian Cage. And in the world of wrestling, that can happen. Just think of it this way. Like any other sport, any team can win on any single day. This isn't a best-of-7 series. This is a one-time shot. We had Patriots going in one time with the perfect record. They got smoked in the Super Bowl. Things like that can happen all the time. I mean, we had Razor Ramon lose to the 1-2-3 Kid on a Raw that nobody ever thought that was going to happen, but it happened. Wrestling, sometimes it's just a matter of who's best that night. Sometimes it's a matter of who wants it more, who really wants to do what it takes, who's going to put their body through the most punishment to take that title, to take that victory. Sometimes it's not even about the title. Sometimes it's about the victory, winning it,
Yeah.
The 1-2-3 Kid being Ramon never, ever impressed me. It just didn't. I'm sorry.
I don't think you could have beat Razor Ramon if you got picked then.
You just give a bottle of scotch and you're ready to go. But that's
boy,
another
that would have been another story another night.
Yeah, I mean, another story. It just never did. Never did. I mean, it was just like, okay,
Okay, well, you know what?
And it was
At
for
one point,
championships,
you know what?
with it.
At one point, there was a Rocky Balboa that tied an Apollo Creed. That wasn't supposed to happen either. He should have been knocked out first round. But he had the heart of a champion.
Movie magic. I love the Rocky movies.
Movie magic is the same as wrestling magic, though. Where's the difference?
It 100% is.
We're talking entertainment. We're talking cinema. We're talking emotion. You want to grab emotion. Well, how are you going to grab emotion? You want to grab anger. You want to grab hate. You want to grab love. You want to grab, people feeling for you. This is all cinematic emotion, too. You do that in a movie. Except you guys got like less time to do it, and you can't tell your story in 2 hours straight. You got to do it like in 15 to 20-minute spurts.
Yes, yeah. My comments still not showing up. I don't understand that.
Are we having issues?
Yeah, any issues, I think, but that's all right. But it's not like we have any comments.
Am I still talking? Because I never know if it's my issue now.
You're still talking. Mine went out. Mine went out for like 5 seconds. But we're
sometimes I'll be talking, and then I'll be like, "Oh," they'll be like, "There he is," and I'm like, "Shoot, I was talking for like 5 minutes."
I'm telling you, you should have been around with Vince part of the show. His internet always cut out. Like,
no, I already told everybody. I already told everybody in the house his internet, while it is significantly cheaper, and they say it's on par, it's clearly not on par. But it's still doing better than it was the other night. The other night I couldn't get it to do anything.
Oh, there you go. There's a step.
What do you got in the back there? What's all that collection?
That is just a lot of video game memorabilia that I enjoy. I got some Sonic back there. I got some wrestling. I got some Five Nights at Freddy's. I call this my nerd.
There we go. The FNAF. Now the good stuff comes.
Yeah, this is my nerd room. This is my safe space.
Everybody calls it nerd now, but maybe back when I was a kid, we would get like harassed for this stuff. But now this is like the cool stuff. The cool kids have this stuff. The collectors go out there. I go figure hunting all the time, and I'll be honest with you, 90% of the people buying this stuff is full-fledged adults. There's very little kids in toy stores buying toys anymore. It's mostly adults.
100%.
But I collect, and my kid collects all that. We got the FNAF guys, the little snap-on ones.
Yeah.
And he loves the Poppy Playtime and all those horror games. So we got soaked right into all these games from like Bendy. We play everything.
Oh my gosh, I used to love Bendy. I had a Bendy plush somewhere. I'm not sure what it is now.
We have that. We got Siren Heads. He's into these now it's Italian brain rot, but he got me into all this deep hole of just horror games. So we play all through the Poppies. We play all through the Garten of Bands, and we keep up with those ones. Trying to think. The FNAFs are always fun. Especially now that they've made those into movies, and they did a really good job taking the game and making it a movie, which I was surprised.
There was a lot of hate on it. I really liked it for what it was. I know they did want to make it family friendly, and I do wish there was more gore and all that good stuff. But like, I enjoyed it for what it was. I'm really excited for the second one to come out in December. I know me and some of the other students are going to go see it together. So
I'm super excited for both because in September I'm going to like 6 different horror conventions. So I'm actually meeting Iliad at one of them. So I'm going to actually meet him and have him sign my Five Nights at Freddy's stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
My stream stuff as well. But I am excited to see where it goes. I know you're right. The gore could have been there, but I feel like if they did the gore, they would have had to change the rating, and it would have had to drop the audience of the kids that play the game.
Yeah, and I feel like they probably would have gotten, off track with the story. They wouldn't focus so much on the story that they focus so much on. So,
but the story was true to the game, which I think the true gamers enjoyed it.
Yeah,
but I mean, we got good game to movies this year. We got that, and we got Minecraft, which was done perfectly too.
Yeah,
so I mean, we've done really well. Mario wasn't bad.
No, and I mean the Sonic movies, I've loved all of them.
Those are
So
great.
yes, they're
Nah,
kids movies, but you know that it's my whole childhood. Like it's like everything I ever wanted, but now I'm getting it as an adult.
what we need though is a real good Legend of Zelda movie. No one's done it yet.
Yes, yes.
We need a real true to life Legend of Zelda movie. I think it could be done really good right now.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm sure if they ever do make one, they'll make like a callback to the creepy pastas that used to go around about the the Legend of Zelda games and whatnot.
Yeah. But I mean, I for like 15 minutes, and then we used
Yeah,
to have like Kid Nintendo and stuff. But you think about what they could go bad. They could even make a good sci-fi Metroid game movie, with like a person just landing on a plane and going to whatever. There's so much they could do now. I think because gaming's gotten to a different level than it was, and people have shown that games can become good movies. Yes, we've had bad ones. I don't think they did a good job with Resident Evil. I think they did a horrible job
yeah,
transcribing that over. But like I said, in a lot of years, we've had really good game to movie. So be interested to see what they can do, and I am interested, like I said, to see what they do with that FNAF too, because the lore is so deep now, like in real time,
yeah,
that game barely just touches the surface of
yeah.
what's going on.
They just had the Mimic game just came out, so like now we have a whole nother layer to add. And like FNAF 2, the game was always my favorite. Like the toy animatronics were always my favorite because they're just so weird and like plasticky looking. So I'm super excited. I've seen the trailer. I've seen like pictures of the animatronics. So I'm really excited. I found people out here that enjoy it as much as I do.
Oh, you probably got I feel like the real Five Nights at Freddy's was probably somewhere out where you are. In some abandoned warehouse somewhere.
I remember seeing like photos of it like years ago, but I don't know. I thought it was kind of more in like the middle of the country, but I don't know.
I don't know. I've been to some weird Chuck E. Cheese's too, though. So it all depends.
They started taking all the animatronics out of the Chuck E. Cheese's now.
And I saw that since that movie came out, it was weird. That movie came out, they took all those out.
Yeah, they replaced it with a dance floor.
And they don't need to do that.
I'm like, this is stupid. Like the animatronics at Chuck E. Cheese were part of my childhood too. I'm like, I thought those things were awesome.
Yeah, I mean, unless they're gonna like redo them and bring them back, like there's no need to touch that nostalgia.
I doubt it. I feel like Chuck E. Cheese is kind of becoming a thing of the past, unfortunately, because kids today are so invested in their iPads and their technology, and like they want to grow up so fast. I think Chuck E. Cheese is dumb and too kiddie and
yeah, they all do it. It's a sad existence because they don't realize like there's nothing fun about being an adult.
There's not,
but there's no set age that you actually have to start acting like an adult.
no.
Because you turn 18 don't mean you're an adult. I mean, like I said, I go toy shop hunting probably more than most people do. I do a lot of fun shit in my day. I play video games. I watch a lot of horror movies. I go to horror conventions. I do podcasts.
I got my ghost face blanket with me right now, wherever he is on here.
I love to meet the guys, the stars. I'm gonna actually Ghostface is gonna be there. Matt is gonna be there. Skeet is gonna be there at this
what?
one. Yes, so I'm meeting all those three at SilverCon.
Oh my god! How awesome!
I'm going to Return of the Dead reunion in Connecticut. There's like so many things going on, but I've been just soaking up the horror world. Big horror fan. I'm meeting the real Annabelle doll, which I'm excited for. Hopefully, it doesn't kill me.
I heard someone just bought the real Annabelle doll.
They bought the estate. They bought the estate, which the doll will be housed, but I don't think they still don't own the rights to that doll. That doll in the museum, I believe, is still owned by people, but he can open the museum now to the public.
Yeah.
But the doll's been on tour now for a while. It was in Gettysburg. It killed the head director there, supposedly. Yeah. Now it's on its way to Maine.
I always one of the people that I really wanted to meet besides Matt and Skeet was Kane Hodder from Friday the 13th. He was my favorite Jason.
I was just supposed to meet him in Nashua, and then he couldn't do it because he's in a movie. I'm going to see him in Connecticut in September, but they did book him for Nashua next year. I did, however, meet CJ, the one that played the Jason prior to him.
Oh.
And I
Okay.
met Matt too, that played his protagonist there. And man, I have to say, like, these guys still love it. Like, they still talk about it like it was yesterday.
I know. I love watching like horror movie like actor interviews. Like they love it. Like you can
Yeah,
tell
like
they
you go
love
to a
what they do so
convention, they
much.
talk about it. They just get into characters. Some of them dress up, some of them don't. Some of them, just do fun shit just out of nowhere.
Yeah, and you can just always tell like they love what they did, and they're always like the nicest people ever, despite being so scary. And I just like read like not too long ago that they're actually making a new Friday the 13th, which I'm excited about because the remake was not my favorite. So
See, now I have mixed message about the remake. I thought in the world of remakes it was okay. Like, I think 2003 Texas Chainsaw was okay.
yeah,
I wasn't a fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I wasn't a fan of certain remakes. 2009 was an okay remake because the story was generic enough that it was just the same story kind of retold.
yeah,
They didn't introduce new characters or old plot lines. They didn't bring back Jarvis. I'm a big fan of Don't Hike in the Woods Alone. I mean, it's a fan film, but they basically bring Tommy Jarvis, the same actor, back. It's a fan-made film. They
oh, I
and
love
they
Tommy Jarvis.
and it's the last guy that played him, Tom Matthews or Matthew Thomas. I don't know. I always switch the names up, but he plays, the same actor plays him. He comes back and reprises the role in these independent films. And, they're fan films, so you can see them right on YouTube. They're free. You can check it out. Don't Hike in the Woods Alone 1. And there's a second one. I think there's Don't Hike Alone in the Snow. And they're direct sequels to basically, they basically make it so like Freddy Goes to Hell and all those ones don't exist. But
Yeah.
I did see that there was a short being released, and then I saw that there's a show being released. And for the longest time, we got no Jason because there was a lawsuit.
Lawsuits, yeah.
Yes.
Like you're a gamer, so I don't know if you ever played, but they had a game Friday the 13th.
That was one of my favorite games.
I love that game. I still play it, but I'm like by myself.
I didn't even know you could play it still.
If you own it, you can still play it, but they won't sell it.
Really?
So it's not
like,
sold in the store.
Are the servers active still?
If enough people play, if the people are in the servers, it will join.
Really?
Yes. And you can play if you're
remotely.
Remote people can play. So I can play with like a couple of friends.
Yeah, I thought because when the news broke, they said that they were gonna like they were gonna shut the servers down.
I don't think they shut. I think they left the server open, but it has to be enough people. But you can't buy the game on the store. But if you own a physical copy or you own the store game, you can download it. So I still go in there.
I'm gonna go load it up later. That makes me so happy.
I mean, I even play I don't even play with real people. I'll just go kill all the counselors. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'll play the bots. But
it was so much fun.
But right in the middle of that came the lawsuit, so it got shut down. I was like, everybody was like, "Wait a minute, what's going on here?"
Mm-hmm.
And now we finally have gotten new, Friday the 13th content.
Well, and then they came out with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, which I feel like is kind of similar, and that one's really fun too. And I know that one's still up and running as well.
That's up and running, and I mean, you also have Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which is very similar to that. That's up and running. They had a Puppet Master one for PC, which was amazing, but that one closed, unfortunately. I'm sad to say. That was a lot of fun. You could pick between all the puppets or the demonic toys. Total fun.
I didn't know about the Killer Clowns game.
That's a fun one. That's a fun one too. You can be all the killer clowns. You go fight the people, turn them into cotton candy.
Oh, that's fun. Oh, it's on Steam.
It's on Steam, Xbox, PlayStation.
Oh, I might have to get that on my Xbox.
I
love Killer Clowns. That's so much fun.
And I mean, there's Dead Before Daylight, which I'm a big fan of as well.
Yeah, I haven't touched Dead by Daylight in a while. They added Springtrap.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they added Springtrap. They added the Five Nights at Freddy, and you can go inside the the room, which I just also heard that Five Nights at Freddy and also the Wyatt Six got being released in haunted house form and
I saw
haunted
that.
nights, the horror nights down in Orlando or California, wherever. That's great.
Yeah, I think that's so cool. Love the Wyatt Six getting the recognition they deserve. Like
I
they're not everyone's cup of tea, but for what it is, you know, I feel like Bray would have been proud with
think
what
it
they
would have
have.
been better if they never got to mask like day one.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I wish they just said no to the fans and just kept about their business or never stopped that night and just kept going. I would have rather not known who's behind the mask at all until it's time to know.
Yeah.
Just because I'm such a kayfabe person. I grew up in an era where like we wanted to believe the bad guys were really bad and the good guys were really good and nobody was a friend and you know
Right.
everybody was this. And when I see that, it's like, okay, this is cool. I know what it is, but it's like if I know too much about a movie, am I going to enjoy this movie? No, probably not. I'm going to watch it in a different way. It's the same way with that. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, now I know who these guys are. And it's not even like know who these guys are. Like imagine you watch the first Scream, but you know who the killer is in the first
Yeah.
scene. It's like, damn it, now it's ruined for me. The mystique is gone.
Yeah, like the mystique is gone, like you still enjoy it, but kind
I
of to
enjoy
an
what they're
extent.
doing,
Yeah.
but I don't get that like that sense of like
Right.
emotion that I would get if I didn't know who they were. Like I would be thinking like back in the day to me, like the biggest thing I could think of like I finally found out it was Matt Bourne, but you know, who was Doink? Who was the
Mhm.
second Doink? Like when there was a double, like who were these people? Was it, you know, Action Smash? Me and my friends had all these, you know, rumors and things that we would think about. We always would wonder who these guys were. And then to see them, you know, demasked like that, it's just kind of like, oh, okay. Well, here we are. But I do love what the Wyatt Six is doing. I think Bray is one of the most genius people in the industry in this probably ever.
100%.
You know, what he's done in wrestling is amazing. What he, you know, did in the cross between horror and wrestling was amazing. Nobody's probably done it as good as probably The Undertaker. And I think in a lot of ways Bray made it more scary and more horror and less campy.
Right.
A lot of times Undertaker did it, but it was campy. Paul Bearer was comedic. Bray brought a sense of fear to people. People were scared of it. He brought a sense of something is wrong. You know, when you would watch these Firefly fun houses on TV and see children laughing in a weird way and such, you would say, this is kind of disturbing. This is something off. But people would get ready. I know, you know, people that didn't watch wrestling in 10, 15 years, we're all now tuning in to Monday night to see what the Firefly Funhouse is going to be about. We're
Mhm.
here to see Bray Wyatt. We're here to see this creepy shit.
And
And
you
that's
had
what he
like
did.
yeah, and you had the QR codes and you know, people were like going out of their way to, you know, try to encrypt like the messages. Like it was very special and I don't think we're going to see anything like it, but
No, but that's what, you know, even got me back into mainstream. I was in the indie scene, you know, I was out of wrestling altogether for, like I said, for a while, but I started going to indie shows because it was local and, you know, I started seeing how cool it was and remember my childhood and such. And then I seen, you know, this Bray Wyatt character on TV in The Fiend, and I started saying, well, what's this? And that got me into mainstream wrestling. If I didn't see that, I probably would have never tuned back into WWE. I would have
yeah.
just stayed on the indie scene and just stayed there. But, you know, seeing someone like Bray and seeing him do it successful, and again, there's been many horror characters after Undertaker that tried and failed. Many dark characters.
Mhm.
But Bray he came and delivered in a way that nobody else could, in almost a realistic way, especially when he was like cult leader Bray. I thought, you know, I went back and watched his older stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
that cult leader Bray, you know, I know a few people like that. I know a few people that could be like that.
Right.
And I'm like, you know, this isn't too far fetched from somebody real. And
Mhm.
that's what, again, brought me back to the time when you had a character. This isn't, you know, some guy being a wrestler. This is some cult leader that wrestles.
Yeah.
And that's the difference,
Mhm.
you know, and that's what he brought to it.
Yeah. The Wyatt
How about
family, they always put me it just made me feel uneasy, but I love it. That's the feeling that I love to get from wrestling.
What about you, Vic? Were you a fan of Bray? I never really asked you that.
Was I a fan of Bray? Of course I was a fan of Bray.
There's some people that
I
aren't.
also think the Wyatt Six is more of a cash cow of his legacy. I think after Bray passed away, he let everything lie. You don't touch his legacy. You just, like the old saying goes, only the good die young.
Yeah, but I would say normally that would be fine, but I think didn't the brother already have plans part of it?
They did, yeah. They were in the middle of the Uncle Howdy, the introduction and who is it, and
So in wrestling the show must
theme
go on.
anyways. That theme character was like once in a great while I would even take my hat off at seeing something that's so awesome and so great by the WWE. And that was it.
It was. I mean, first of all, you had a master genius behind the mask. You had Cervini, which did an amazing job with all of that. But Bray also helped with the design too. You had Bray wanting.
He got jobbed out of the title though.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He didn't need a title. Bray should have never even been in the run for a title. It wasn't about the title for him. It was about destroying people, but more importantly, destroying. It was about changing them, taking people that were good and turning them to bad. If you want to talk storytelling, I mean, honestly, John Cena losing to Bray Wyatt was probably the reason he turned heel. It's true, though. If you look at the time period and everybody was losing, everybody started to turn that lost to Bray. And it was about that change. He was trying to get people to change from in. It was still a little bit of cult era Bray mixed with a whole lot of weird stuff. The only thing that it got to me that I thought was a little bit weird and I didn't really care for was when the whole Alexa Bliss stuff started to happen, and I think they tried to get him off air too fast. They should have done it a different way. The whole package exploding and people laughing in the slime, I thought was just, they could have done something totally different that would have explained it better. But besides that, I mean, we're talking about a guy that changed the way wrestling's even looked at.
Yeah.
I still think his match against Cena in 2020 was probably the best match of the year. That cinematic match. It had so much depth and storytelling.
It's one of my favorites, of all time.
I have it on DVD or Blu-ray, and I watch it specifically just for those cinematic matches because I enjoy what he did with it. I enjoy where he brought it, the level. It brings me to my horror roots.
Even the cinematic match with Styles and Taker, I really enjoyed that one too. It was yes, it was a rough time, but it was really cool for WWE to showcase this really is art that we're making. It's not.
It is. And I mean, if you ever watch Lucha Underground, they were cinematic shows.
Yes, I love Lucha Underground.
And there's nothing wrong with Lucha Underground. They were very successful, and I think them WWE doing cinematic reminds a lot of people that cinematic is a way of wrestling. It doesn't all have to be live. That we can go back to cinematic, and some of it looks great.
Agreed.
That Undertaker match was very, very, to me, very. I was really enthralled in it. I thought it had a good depth and a good atmosphere that I wasn't expecting. Because you see these buried alive matches, you see these other matches, and you see the ramp and just a pile of dirt. And so I never know what to expect. But when I see this full set, I'm just like, oh shit, this really is cinematic. I was damn, we're in a good place.
And AJ Styles was honestly probably the perfect opponent for that match. He's got so much experience and he's just so great at everything he does. And I'm going to miss him when he retires. Because
talk about a little guy that can do a lot.
Yes.
He's not a bigger guy, but he's very impactful.
He's one of the all-time greats. I really hope they do a Styles Cena match before the end of the retirement tour because that was one of my favorite feuds ever.
I don't think Cena wanted. Cena wanted only one person. He wanted to wrestle Lesnar.
So Cena came out and said he didn't ask for Lesnar.
Cena doesn't talk about wrestling, though.
He said that they just line him up. He knocks him down. That's all he said. But Victory.
You know what? You know what? You know what it is? I bet we looked a little bit deeper. They said John Cena wants this match. They didn't say which John. I bet it was John Cena Sr. that wanted this match, and he made it happen. He's still friends with Vince. He made it all happen. It was the dad.
Well, we still got time, so hopefully this
Anyways.
Lesnar shit doesn't take up the rest of the tour.
No, what I was
What we
gonna say
do.
though. What I was gonna say though is Victory Road, Petey Williams, AJ Styles X Division Championship. That was the first Victory Road. And during that match, you think to yourself that Styles was gonna pull it off because Petey Williams, he was good at the time, but he wasn't phenomenal. And when Williams pulled off the upset, a clean upset, because he always had his manager with him. I remember Styles back then. I'm old. I told you I'm old. I'm
You
older
remember-
than you, Jesse.
You are older than me.
God, I'm old. I got the dad bod going. It's just like, man.
I have a dad bod going too. I just don't let my camera show it.
It's okay. Half the indies have dad bods, so
Yeah.
we're just fine.
But you have to be a parent, right? What are you gonna do? The bod comes with the parent. You can't just
This
be a
is
dad and not get the bod.
this is why I had kids, so I could be part of the games and the toys and the. If I go see Sonic 3 by myself in the theater, that won't look strange. A guy in the mid-40s in a theater full of kids.
I went by
Hey.
myself.
But you're not a 40-something-year-old man
mid-40s are
with no hair. That's even worse. He's got no hair.
So I just bring my son. My son, like, I want to see it. Okay, cool. You want to see Sonic? I remember back in the Sega days. Let's go.
What do you tell him? Make sure to call you dad at least 3 times during the event.
Yeah, yes, he dad, and give me a hug once.
At least hug you one time on his own free will.
That's all for you.
No, but it is true. There is places out there that are very fun. And they'll be like, if you do not have a kid, do not try. We will not let you in. No admittance. Like miniature golf places to like other places out here. If you don't have a kid, they ain't letting you in.
Really?
Yep.
That's weird.
Well, we got a lot of weird people out here. We don't want them near our kids. I agree with them.
I suppose. I mean, we
I don't know what your demographic of wrestling like out there is, but out here, we every day we're ripping somebody out of the region because they've done something wrong.
I mean, I try not to get caught up in all the wrestling drama because there's so much, but but most of the wrestling drama I do see is kind of out of the Midwest, thank God. But
So I heard it depends on the region. Not that there's not drama or bad people everywhere, because there is. And like any profession, there's bad people in every profession. They don't just all hang out in wrestling. I just know that it's wrestling because I know I follow wrestling. If I followed other careers and other job paths, I'd probably see the same trends. But I do see, from region to region, people do treat the sport a little bit differently or act a little bit differently or even treat themselves differently as what they do. Some of them treat themselves as more professional, or some people treat themselves as less professional. Some people have a rock star attitude. Some people have, no attitude. Some people are just Joe Schmo until they turn on the switch. Other people are that switch all day long.
right.
Or you can just live in Texas.
Texas is just oppressed. You can't watch porn or jerk off. Or smoke weed. What are you going to do?
Jesus Christ. I apologize, Tori, for this. I apologize for this.
The only thing you can do in Texas is blow your horse legally. I'm sorry, they're oppressed. But they got you know what? They got a hell of a wrestling division.
Yeah, I've never been to Texas.
But they got
But
great
we
wrestling.
might be stopping there in November during our trip to Colorado, so I'll keep my eyes peeled, I guess.
Clear your browse history. Forget about your eyes peeled. If you have any dirty shit, they'll fucking arrest you on spot.
Jeez.
Yeah, we get interesting stories from the guests who come on the show.
We do. We do.
I believe it.
We have a few guests from Texas. One of our favorite is Vincent. He's completely out there. Like, if you live on Jupiter, he lives on the next planet over.
Vincent.
Just Vincent.
Just Vincent?
Yeah, I think he was trained by Booker T's friend or something. I don't know. He went to that school.
Okay.
I don't know if he has a last name in his wrestling.
Referee Vincent.
Yeah, I don't know. But he's from Texas. But
Okay.
then we have like another dude that's pretty cool, Warhammer. He's cool from Texas.
Now,
Different
he was
part.
the one that told us this information.
But he's the one that told us about the no porn. And, well, Vic Googled the horse laws. We did an episode for horse laws across the country. And unfortunately, there is no laws against having sex with your horse.
It was a slow night on the podcast.
I don't own any animals. Remember,
I
I'm
see
allergic.
that.
Remember, I'm allergic to animals, so I don't have any.
Well, I hope, even though it's not illegal, I hope nobody tries.
As long as you don't get caught, though, nobody will bother you.
Ugh.
Isn't that crazy, though? To me, it's just crazy because then there's like other things that you can't do. Like you can't jaywalk or something, but then you can, I don't know. It's just very weird.
Oh, whatever.
But it was a very slow night. Guests didn't show up. There was a motivational guy, too, and he demotivated himself.
Oh.
So that motivated me to look up weird shit and have Victor look up even weirder shit.
We're very forgiving on this show. Someone could like message us like 60 seconds before we're supposed to go live, and they'd be like, "I can't make it." Okay, but once we hit the button and we're live, it's 5 minutes after we started. I get a message. Hey, by the way, I've been listening to your stuff. I don't want to come on. You couldn't say this like.
He says, I've listened to your stuff. I don't want to come on. My views don't align with yours. Now, okay, I agree. I'm not going to say I'm not a brainwasher here. If you don't believe in what I believe in, that's fine. But I want to know, what do you not believe in that I say that makes you so passionate to not come on the show? Is it that I don't like the pedophilia and that I frown upon pedophiles? Is it that I don't like, bullies, that I was bullied myself? I mean, is it that I smoke weed? If it's the weed and the religious thing, that I understand. If it's not, then you know what? Fuck you. My weed smoke doesn't bother you. So to each their own. But I was just curious on what is it about it that you don't agree? We don't get political. We don't pick political sides. We don't, we're not red or blue. We're not anti-gay. We're not anti-anything. We're fucking for everyone.
Yeah, I've always been that kind of person where I don't really let, I guess opposing views stop me from talking or befriending somebody. I've always found that that's silly, especially as an adult. Like, just grow up. Like,
to be honest with you, as an adult, I kind of look for the differential view because I don't want it's nice to have some people that agree with you, but you don't want everyone to have the same opinion. You want people to be different. You want that variety. Let's all be fair.
Variety is the spice of life.
But being an adult means that you can have a conversation about a topic that might get heated without getting heated. Because at the end of the day, we're having a conversation. We're not going to war over it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people take things to heart or take other people's stories to heart. And I know we all walk different shoes, but I'm just one of those people, you know what? There's only a few trigger things, like I said. If you're a pedophile, I don't want to talk to you. Don't come on my show. Don't come on my show.
Yeah, that I agree with. 100%.
And that's the fathers in us,
That's the father in me. If you abuse your wife or your girlfriend or you hit your even spouse now, I'll say, or if you're abusive to your partner,
I agree.
Anyway, it's another person I don't want to deal with. Verbally or physical abuses, I don't really like to deal with. But outside of that, I have a lot of tolerance for a lot of different things. People's sexuality, people religion, people all that. It doesn't concern me. We're not here to talk about it. If you want to bring it up and share it with me, coolio. If you don't, I'm not going to pry. I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to say, hey, what did you do this Sunday? Where'd you go, pray? I'm not. I'm here to talk about wrestling. The more kayfabe, the better for me. I don't even want to talk about real life. I wish we didn't have to tell people that it's illegal for porn to be watched. I wish we could kayfabe it and say it's still good.
Could be worse. You could be a Packers fan.
Hey!
Oh.
Wow.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with the Packers.
Too far.
Nothing wrong with the Green Bay Packers.
I almost wore my Packer hoodie, but I wore my Milwaukee hoodie instead.
Brewers aren't bad either.
Hey, being in Iowa, I'm surrounded by mostly Bears fans. My boyfriend's a Bears fan. My coach is a Bears fan. Like, I'm a minority here.
My favorite manager's a Bears fan.
I struggle being in this
Sidney
area
Bacabella is a
enough.
Bears fan. Yeah, he's from Chicago. I used to be a Bears fan.
Ugh.
I like the Bears when back in the McMahon days. Once
Well,
upon
I liked it during the refrigerator Perry days. I'm going
Yeah,
way back. I
yeah,
mean, we're
Perry, yeah.
going way, way back to the Bears. I'm not talking like any of this generation's Bears.
I was born in a family where liking the Bears is a sin. So a sin.
Oh, it's a sin here. No, well, no. I mean, well, yeah, it's a sin. I mean, we got
It's a sin
squashed.
most places.
They killed us in that Super Bowl.
Seth Rollins
They
really
just-
must like you.
Yeah, I make whenever he's there, I make sure to wear my Packers gear.
He must really like you. This is like, oh shit.
I can't believe he was at the NFL draft. My dad was at the draft, and he was like, "Why the hell is your coach here on our stage?" And I was like, "Dad, I don't know."
Why, did your dad work for the NFL?
No, he just one of his life goals was to go to one of the NFL drafts, and when it finally came to Green Bay, he was like, "Well, I'm going." Like obviously,
okay.
So no, he was just
Oh,
a
the way
fan
you
in the
said our
crowd
stage,
there.
I was like, did your family own a stage? What do you guys own down there?
No,
You
he
own
was-
the Packers. Don't lie.
He is a shareholder, though. We do own a share of the Green Bay Packers in our
There
family.
you go. See?
See, that's diehard. Next to
That
a
is.
tattoo, that's diehard.
That's awesome. I should start putting it on my resume.
You should. You should say that, you know. You never know, the next person might want to take that football money and turn it into a wrestling promotion.
I know, right?
Seth
I like-
Rollins could be the next new AEW owner. Never know.
Yeah, I don't ever know what that man's up to. I mean, obviously he's really not at the gym most of the time when he's on TV. So he's just
Yeah, I mean, like most, I'm guessing like most school owners, they're there rarely just because of time restraint. But when he's there, I mean, I'm sure you've seen him a few times. It must be kind of like you get starstruck a little awe, or is it just like, hey, what's up?
No, so during my class, which was like September to November of last year, it was the time where he was written off TV because of Bronson Reed. So he was actually at like our class like a lot. So there was a lot of time to talk to him and ask him questions. And you know, I thought going into there I was gonna be starstruck. And then once he talked, I was like, this is just a regular man. This is just a regular man with his coffee. Like
That's how I felt when I met Joe Henry. You know, we went to like a dinner with Joe, and it was like that. You know, it was when he was at his highlight. People were clapping and trying to say his name, hoping he'd appear. And he comes out and just chilling. It's like, yeah, I have a day job and do this, and he's a regular dude. He's just one of us. He's cool.
that's the cool thing. Like the more wrestlers I meet, the more I realize that like they're people, they have feelings. Like being at extra work too really helped with that a lot. Seeing everybody backstage, you know, saying hi, and CM Punk ended up asking to sit with us at our table in catering, all of us extra work people, and talk to us for like 30 minutes. Like,
You must have been a little starstruck then.
okay, that we were freaking out about a little bit, but just regular people. Like,
It is
and
though.
it's so nice to see them in that light. Like, and
No,
they're always
It is.
willing to give advice and whatnot. And you know, they really
kind of like in that
yeah.
horror world too. Like, you know, like I was saying, going to the convention, you know, you sit, you don't, you know, you talk to them 5-10 minutes, or you're at a panel. You know, they'll show a movie. I just saw, you know, the movie Trick or Treat, and you know, at the end, the head star that played Ragman, he was a kid at the time, is now an adult. You know, he does a panel. And, you know, you can ask questions. You can get to know these people, and they are. They're just regular people. You know, they happen to have acting careers, or they happen to get into acting for one reason or another, similar to why wrestlers do. You know, they had a passion for cinema. They had a passion for horror. They had a passion for this. They wanted to be like this guy. They saw, you know, this one wanted to be like Michael J. Fox. He was on, you know, he was on the same show as him, and, you know, growing up, and he wanted to be like him. So he wanted to get into Hollywood. And, you know, you hear all these stories, and it brings people a little bit closer. Where I think, you know, growing up, the difference was the wrestlers, to me or to anybody, you know, were kids, but they seemed like Hollywood stars that were untouchable. Like there was this huge barrier. You're up here, these wrestlers, and you're a fan down here. If these people
Yeah.
even got close to you, it's like Jesus touching you. It was hard to do. You always wanted to be the kid that Bret Hart put the glasses on.
Right.
But you knew it was a 1 in a billion chance. Today I feel like between the indie scene the way it is, and then even WWE, it's a little bit. It's all everybody's more tangible. And a way to meet your superstars that you want to meet. They're more accessible, whether it's social media interaction, whether it's physical interaction, whether you have to pay for a meet and greet, whatever it is. It's available where before it just was very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great for people like on the indie scene. You guys can make, you get that interaction time at an intermission. You get to make a fan base. You get to sell merch. You get to gain people. You get to talk to people. That wasn't, all the time there, for people to do that.
Mm-hmm. Hi, are you laying under my chair? What are you doing?
Brilliantly said.
What?
That was brilliantly said.
Yeah. Sometimes I have a good moment. Once in a while.
Sometimes. Same.
All it takes is one brilliant moment to have a brilliant idea, and that idea to take off, and that idea to become successful. You don't need to be like an actual genius. You just need a brilliant idea, which only is a second long. It's true.
So what's our brilliant idea?
What's what?
What's our brilliant idea?
You might have not thought of it yet. Some people haven't reached their pinnacle point until like in their 50s. There's actors that haven't got their key roles until they're in their 60s.
You're supposed to say this show.
Oh.
Thanks.
I don't know.
Thanks.
Oops.
Well, I mean, this is our third reinnovation of the show. I would say the first one.
Well, that was not my fault because of moms and divorces and everything.
I would say that the coming together was probably the pinnacle idea of taking the two powerhouses of the radio waves and the YouTube waves and putting them together. I would say would be the pinnacle spark, the brilliant idea. Wherever that has led us since that point, that was the idea, though. That's what I would say. Which is right now has led us right to VTV. Which is an 8 to 10 show, which I like, because then I can say things about fucking porn and horses and shit. Which it was very weird to do at 1 in the afternoon.
We had kids around. We were just like, and
we got kids running back and forth, parents in the other room, and what am I supposed to do? Talk about somebody blowing a horse? Like, I can't. But at least it's just like a late night feeling. I don't care if it's like that. I don't care if it's. I like a little raunchiness action. I like a little fucking. I grew up on shit like that. I grew up on a little bit of Jerry Springer mixed with a little bit of Tales from the Crypt. And what do you get? You get a little bordello of blood.
Springer.
You get a little bordello of blood, right? You get a little fucking vampire with tit action. That's what you get. That's like VTV. You get a lot of seriousness, but you get a little bullshit. It fucking mixes nicely.
Now, let's give Tori the whole picture here. This is what VTV is right now. Before, it was when the episode we were like told our sons, you know what? You always interrupt us. You record the episode. You guys do it. You see how easy it is to record a podcast. Go ahead. And it was just an absolute, just chaotic. Yeah.
There was one brilliant episode, though. I don't think it still exists. We spent a good hour advocating why hard drugs should be legalized for a safer humanity. Even though none of us really do hard drugs, all we do is smoke weed. But we came up with all the pros of why hard drugs should be legalized and why cocaine would be better for people with ADHD than Adderall. It was a great, interesting episode. I'll put it that way.
Was that a slow night on the podcast too?
Yeah, kinda.
No, actually,
it was a fast. I was hopped up. I had a couple of blunts that night. I was chilling.
Yeah, we did research and everything on it, so it wasn't like we had like, yes, shrooms. We're like, well, you use this much,
No, you know what it was? You want to know what caught me up that day? Is because I was in school and the teacher was talking about medications and this and that, and maybe it would benefit the kids. And all I can think of is that these medications, like we talked to the doctor the other day, leads to addiction. And it got me to the point of is if they just legalize the actual drug instead of giving some pharmaceutical version of it, that it would probably be safer and better. Is cannabis not safer than synthetic cannabis? Yes, of course it is. That's all my point was. But it ended up spiraling into why other drugs would be better in treating different disorders. And in some cases, they've been explained that they actually are beneficial. Like, at least in the Northeast here, there's a huge study right now in shrooms and microbiology of why mushrooms affect and help with long-term depression, et cetera, et cetera. We're very experimental out here in the Northeast. I mean, we got legalized cannabis. I mean, like I said, they're on the verge of legalizing mushrooms. We can do anything we want with horses. We got freaking free range porn. It's fucking wild. It's a Wild West, but we're on the East Coast.
Well, on that crazy note.
On that note, yeah. Where can people find you on social media?
Instagram and Twitter is going to be the Tori Fox, so just the Tori Fox, and then Facebook is Tori Fox as well, and that's pretty much the only ones that I use. Like, I don't really post on TikTok or anything. I kind of grown out of TikTok.
Where can they see you wrestle? Where are you wrestling next?
So now most of my wrestling is in the Midwest. Mostly Iowa and Wisconsin right now, more in the Davenport area for Iowa and then Milwaukee area in Wisconsin. We're actually doing a show outside of Miller Park this weekend, so outside the Brewers baseball stadium. So that should be fun. But I've been getting out to Illinois and Nebraska, and we have a really good group of guys. We just got back from wrestling on the West Coast, actually. So we're trying to kind of expand more. I know we want to go east at one point. We have a graduate who's from New York. So
you got to come right to like Mass. Talk to Chaotic Wrestling, Beyond Wrestling.
We want to go everywhere. We want to go absolutely everywhere.
If you ever come to the Northeast, definitely let us know. I'll give you like every promoter's contact info.
Okay.
Okay. And at least give you a starting point of where you can go. I don't know who's hiring and who's cheap or not. I'm not going to get that's another episode. But there is a lot of opportunity on the East Coast here in the Northeast, and I honestly do believe that we do have some of the top wrestling. A lot of the ID kids are coming from here.
Yeah.
WWE headquarters in Connecticut. But yes, if you are ever looking to try to get booked out this way, I will put you in the contact of some of the greatest promoters in this area.
Absolutely, please do. We got a whole group of us who love to get on the road and make those long drives. So
that's what I love. I love seeing wrestlers like you that are still passionate about it enough that because it gives fans like me something to feel passionate about. Because I talk to people and you can kind of see that passion's kind of diminished or there's kind of fake to fake in it. With you, I don't feel that. I feel like it's a genuine, you're still like, I'm happy to be pro wrestling. I really enjoy this. This is something that, brings me joy. And seeing that, it brings, like I said, me passion to watch pro wrestling. Because there's still people out there that enjoy doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, there's still good ones out there. I feel like a lot of people feel like they're obligated to get like a flight somewhere if they want to be booked. Like, no, we'll rent a minivan, we'll split it, and we'll just go. Like, it's a good bonding time for us. It's a good way to, see everything. Like on our way to Cali, we got to stop in Wyoming and Colorado, and then we wrestled in Utah on the way back. Like I feel like it's part of the journey. So
it's about the stories, right? The road stories on the road and the bonds and all.
Yeah, we have so many just from that one trip, and that was the first like big trip that we've taken.
See, that's how you become YouTube stars. You start a vlog, not about the wrestling, but about traveling to wrestling.
I know,
and you'll become insta famous overnight.
Yeah, we're going to Colorado in November. We're trying to get booked somewhere in Texas as well, I think. So kind of around that area. So someone just reached out to me about going out to Canada next year. I've never been out of the country, so that's Canada's really fun. Yeah, I mean, we want to see it all. We want to do it all. We love to, part of it is, meeting everybody and meeting all these different people, wrestlers, and fans alike. Like, I really do cherish like the interaction I have with fans and, people that, want to hear from me on a podcast for some reason. Like,
Well, I mean, that's part of it. People don't think they have fans, or people don't like. I feel like indie wrestlers a lot of the time don't give themselves enough credit. They see themselves, yes, as a performer, entertainer, but they don't see themselves as someone that got a fan base or they're serving a fan. And all of a sudden they see that they have like this fan base, they get a little surprised. And
yeah,
they're almost in like shock.
I
But
definitely
like
do
it exists.
sometimes. Yeah, like whenever I get like the notification on my phone that like someone just ordered merch from my website, I'm like, really? Well, are you sure? Are you sure you want this? Are you sure you want my t-shirt? Like
That's great
it's
though.
cool. It's such an interesting thing to get used to, like seeing people walk around with my face on a t-shirt and like people like buying 8x10s of me to, put in frames and put in their kids' bedrooms. Like it's so cool. Like
Must
I
be
feel like
surreal though at some point, because it's like I'm here. I mean, someone's buying my name, someone's buying my autograph, someone's buying my creativity.
yeah,
You made
like
it.
yeah, it's really cool. I don't think it's something I'm ever gonna get over. Like, just cool. Like, sure, you can have my 8x10 if you really want to. Thank you.
That's good. Vic collects 8x10s.
Oh, okay, I'll send you my website.
Now, where's your website? Tell the world what's your website.
I think so. I go through like it's this little app called Big Cartel.
Oh, Big
And
Cartel. Yep.
yeah,
I've bought plenty of wrestling merch from Big Cartel.
pretty sure my phone is dead, but I think it's like Tori Fox.
If I go to Big Cartel and if I type in Tori Fox, your probably page will pop up.
Yeah, so that's where I do it from for now, just because I don't really have like the time or finances to like build my own website. But it works. So
Well, just let you know, I am a web designer that works at a very, 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 very cheap budget. So
okay.
if you ever need something, a little store setup or something to get out of that. But I do recommend online, just because a lot of the places hold the virtual inventory, which then you're not stuck with a physical inventory.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing enough shows to carry that inventory to sell it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is what I do right now.
There was one person I know that got into them. They bought like 100 shirts and they still have 98 of them because they didn't sell the shirts. And it's like, well.
Yeah, I do kind of want to look at places that, like some places that hold the inventory, not all of it, but I want to do fun stuff. Like I want to do like sweatpants that like kind of look like my gear, like that have like the last name on the back. Like that's something like I'd be okay with not carrying to shows, but it's still accessible for people that want them.
Spreadshirt. Look into Spreadshirt. They have an array of like 99 different products, from like literally like gym bottle cup, like water bottles, to like gym pants, to like anything, and you can customize, logo them, do whatever, and they carry the inventory. People just go online and buy what they want in whatever color they want. It gets shipped to them.
Spreadshirt. Okay.
Yeah, check into that too. That's another great place to like sell or make merch.
Yeah, I'm gonna bookmark it right now. Actually, this looks nice. This looks like exactly
I've been using them
what I've been
years.
looking for. Yeah,
I've been using it kind of for years, just on different projects, and just come in very handy. And I mean, it pays pretty well. I mean, they don't pay you obviously full commission because they're making it, holding it, selling it, but you make enough that it's like, okay, well, I don't have to do anything either.
Yeah, that's nice. Like, like having the actual inventory at my house and shipping it out by myself is a little bit of a hassle sometimes.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
But it's not too much for me just yet. So once we get there,
But like you said, like you said, different items that you might not want to have, or you're not going to cart to a show. 8x10s, obviously, certain things you're going to obviously carry to a show to sell, but other things you might not want to just cart around. It's like you can buy this stuff online. This is limited to this, or limited to my site. This is limited to that.
Yeah, like I know online exclusives, pretty much.
Because the cool thing about Spreadshirt, I'll just be honest, they like you could tie it into your YouTube site, so people can buy merch from a YouTube video. So like I could attach a Tori Fox shirt that I was selling on Spreadshirt to this video. So people watching this video would see a link of your shirt being sold, and they could click it and buy it right now. So it's like really integrative on that kind of level.
Yeah, and they have a lot of stuff too. I just pulled it up to check it out. They have a lot of stuff.
I helped a guy in Kansas. He was running a show. His name was The Rodfather. He had kind of like a red, white, and blue American gimmick. and he needed merch. So I made him a bunch of designs. We put it on Spreadshirt. We put it out there, and over like the course of 3 weeks, we made about $700. There was like parents buying bibs with this guy's face on. Like they loved him in the town of Kansas, but we all did it through Spreadshirt.
Well,
It does work.
This is awesome. I am going to make an account after dinner. Thank you.
Well, very well. I said, hopefully it helps. But thank you for taking the time. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you guys for having me. Message me anytime, for anything. I obviously like post my posters and whatnot for shows. So if we ever do make it out there,
Definitely. Sounds like, if we ever make it out that way, VTV is known to pretty soon go on tour. Who knows where we will stop? I mean, we have friends all the way. I mean, technically, we have wrestling friends all the way in Finland.
Okay.
We could go anywhere. So it's like, what's across the country? What's a little bit, closer? So who knows where we will show up?
That'd be awesome. Like I said, I'm all over the Midwest right now. So, I mean, most of Black and Brave is like a lot of us are really Midwest based. So, but I mean, it's a little boring, but you got to know the right spots when you're in the Midwest.
I'm filming I'm in the middle of filming a horror, but I'm also in the middle of filming a horror film. Midwest might be like the perfect location to finish.
There's a lot of abandoned, creepy shit out here.
That's what 100%. I'm saying. Like, I know Vermont is tempting, but like, you guys got nothing on the Midwest.
Nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing.
It's like New York City compared. It's crazy.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, Tori Fox. I appreciate
keep in touch. Thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate it. We talked about a little bit of everything, and it's nice because sometimes I feel like I have to keep it strictly to wrestling, but I feel like you guys were okay with me going off topic. So I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the end of the day, you're more than a wrestler. We're more than podcasters. Again, we're all people, right?
Yeah.
We play games. We read comics. We do funky shit. We listen to crazy music. We do all sorts of things, but we're all people.
All right. Awesome. Well, I'm going to let my cat out of here so she can stop screaming at me and go make some dinner.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
On tonight.
Right. Bye.
Bye. Go get her. There we go.
Okay. Well, that was a great episode. I have to say that was refreshing because, I mean, let's face it, a lot of the guests aren't really, honestly, that fun or happy. I mean, have you read posts lately of like any wrestlers? They're always bitching, whining, and complaining.
So I don't like wrestling because every time I'm out, we have a good interview like that, and it's just like,
you know what they say? Every time you get out, they pull me back in. But you know what? For every one good interview, there's a Brock Lesnar return. It's like, But no, I mean, people like that I will always support. If I got a hold of merch, I would buy her merch, even if I wasn't watching wrestling, because they're living their dream. They're doing what they want to do. Like, I want to be a film director, and I want to make a film. I want to do some filming. So I'm going to start doing my shit. But, like, you believe in people. Some of these indie wrestlers I do believe in. Like, we have talked to Johnny Pierce and Selena Hecate. I believe in them. Those are two wrestlers that have worked very hard to get where they want to get.
And here I am just trying to help, and I get fucking punished trying to help it.
How'd you get punished? Oh, well, I don't know. I think you should have, honestly, on that one, I'll be honest, maybe you should have messaged them first, but hey, I'm sharing this. Don't flag me. They would have been like, no, don't do it, or we're going to flag you. Then you wouldn't have done it. I don't know. It's very odd, though, because I've talked to two promoters about it, and both of them said that it was odd that an indie promotion would flag a fan. Kind of stupid, actually.
It's like I copied all the links and everything that they put in their description, so it wasn't like I just like here's.
Yeah, but your account isn't making money. You're not a high monetized account. It wasn't getting 1 million views. It was just there to get extra views and drag people back to the original source.
I actually was taking your advice. You said watch minutes, I have to go put full matches up.
Yeah, but my advice was to put up full matches that you filmed. That was the key point of that whole thing was matches you filmed.
Well, I'm
Or
sorry.
I also said IWTV because IWTV honestly does not copyright strike. They won't remove. They might strike you as a copyright. The music probably will get you, but they will not force to remove because there's plenty of wrestlers out there. They use their IWTV as their own videos on their own channels. And like I said, I'm very shocked by it. It's actually a real turnoff. I probably will never go to that promotion because of it. Kind of like NEW. I probably won't go because of it. It's a huge turnoff for me.
Especially, we're so fragile these days when it comes to
Well, it's not even fragile. It's just I don't want to waste my time on people that don't want to fucking show a little respect. Could have been a simple, email or something of, hey,
At least I was given.
why'd you do this?
At least
And
this
then you would
7 days.
no, but then you would have turned around and be, oh, I interviewed so and so. I was just showcasing. Is there anything you want me to add? You want me to take off? What do you want me to do? But there was no line of communication. Again, it's just spit on fucking BTV, spit on Victor, spit on Versace, and fucking move along like we're trash. But yet you want money, you want sponsorships, you want all this other stuff. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Seriously, though, get the fuck out when it comes to that. I mean,
at least I was able to take it off before the strike happened.
Yeah, but it's just the point of it. I mean, it wasn't like a malicious act. It wasn't a WWE. It wasn't a fucking pay-per-view. It wasn't something that somebody had to pay for. A fucking show that was already on YouTube any which way. So I'm sure you didn't fucking steal it from off of anywhere else but YouTube. So if it's already on YouTube for free, what's more eyes really going to do to it?
Stealing?
It's not like you're saying it was your product and you rebranded the intro and redid the commentary and changed fucking A, Y, and Z. You left the product intact.
100% tax. I copied.
Show them exactly where to find it and whose it was and what it was.
Exactly.
I just don't see the point of fucking hitting you with that. Like, why not try to work with you? Again, this is someone that you've tried to work with, though, and they've shunned you quite a few times. For whatever fucking reason, I still don't know why.
So it's like, okay.
You're the closest, biggest source, though. Why? You're the biggest outlet in your area. The biggest broadcast. Why fucking shun you, though? Why? Nobody else is even doing it in the area.
I've been shunned.
but why though? Like again, it's just more.
You're stupid. That's why. That's bottom line.
If it's from old internet articles and this and that, but I hate to break it to you, the same people that are complaining about the old internet articles are fucking clapping their hands at a fucking known piss fetishist, fucking sexual harassers. Is brought back to the WWE. These are the same people that fucking clap their hands for Josh Briggs, who fucking didn't get caught because the girl really wasn't 15, but he thought he was, hooking up with a 15-year-old online, whatever he was doing with her.
Are you referring to my 2013 arrest?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. These people will shun that or talk about that or bring that up all the time. But these are the same people clapping their hands at WWE right now.
Dude, I had money. I offer a college girl. It's like, whoops.
Yeah, but you know what's fucked up about your whole incident? If you were in a different state, it would have been legal and never an issue. If you were in Vegas that night, it would have been fine.
I mean, it's like, whoops.
But you were in the wrong state. It's like technically in Texas. If you went and bought weed in Texas and got arrested, are you really a criminal? No. You buy it in your own state every fucking day.
Get fucking crucified, get shot like Billy Jones.
I would have lied and said I came from Vegas where prostitution was legal. How the fuck was I supposed to know it was illegal to buy a whore? I mean, it's fair enough.
Maybe we do a watch along with Mike.
I'll be honest with you. No, swear to God, this is a true story. When I worked at Whole Foods, there was this guy. I won't mention his name. but he was about 375 pounds. He had just come from, I want to say, Syria. He was a refugee. Coolio came to work. Horny ass motherfucker. Used to just steal at girls, stare at them. He came out of the dish room one time. He goes, "How do you people work? I just want to fuck everything that moves." There was a young African-American girl that came to train that night. He kept rubbing herself up against her, like intentionally going close and rubbing himself, to the point that she complained to management. I figured this guy would be fired. The next day, the girl quit. Dude's still working. I said, "Why is this dude still here?" He goes, "He comes from another culture. He doesn't know any better. We're just going to let it slide. Hopefully he learns, the ways of America." And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck? He practically just raped a girl live behind the deli counter. She quit because of it. And we're just going to turn a blind eye because he's uncultured? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Welcome to America. You can do what you want if you don't know any better. If you're stupid enough, you can get away with anything. If you're smart enough, you can get away with anything. You got to either just be stupidly stupid or smartly smart.
Pretty much.
But I tell you one thing. That wrestling promotion at the end of the month, I'm never going to remember the name of it. I am looking forward to that. That's going to be a good time. I think I saw Doink the Clown on that card, which is wild. I haven't seen
WOH, World of Hurt Wrestling.
I haven't seen Doink the Clown since '94.
That'd be a good event.
I'm sure it's not the real Doink, but I'll always believe
it's the real Doink.
Doink's Doink. It's Matt Bourne back from the dead.
It's technically dead.
Fuck it. If Vince had his way, he was gonna holograph wrestlers. We would have had an Andre the Giant versus Roman Reigns match via holograph.
All right, don't get me started about wrestling right now. It was good talking to Tori tonight, but
I did like talking to Victoria. Remind you why I still kind of enjoy the indie scene, but at the end of the day, my passion is truly in horror. At the moment, I am looking forward to, like I said, a bunch of things. I wouldn't mind going to the Midwest though. Midwest sounds a little bit fun, maybe a little dangerous. I don't know.
Cheap out there. Get out there cheap. Who the fuck goes to Iowa?
No, Children of the Corn, baby. I don't fucking know.
I thought that was Nebraska.
Was it? Yeah, it was Nebraska. Idaho. What's the difference between Idaho and Nebraska? I mean, is there a big difference?
Same difference as Kansas.
What the fuck? No difference. Well, I know someone in Kansas. If we go to Kansas, I know somebody, but I don't know. We'll end up fucking like Dorothy over the rainbow somewhere in Oz.
Maybe a wrestling show would be cheaper to go out there.
I'm just staying away from Texas.
Texas, I'm staying away. No, I'm staying away from that.
There's a few states and countries I'll never go to. Texas is one of them. I have no interest in Mexico, honestly.
Well, wait. Texas, would I go? It depends where in Texas. I won't fully boycott, but if it's like, it has to be a reason behind it.
I'm probably gonna go to Texas next year for the horror convention, and I'm gonna have to treat Texas like I go to Florida and Disney. I don't try to smuggle weed in. I don't try to do anything. I just go a couple of days without. Sometimes I feel like shit. Sometimes I'm in pain. Other times I'm fine. It all depends. And I go with it. But would I go there just for fun? No. Would I go there just for travel? No. Would I go there for a wrestling show? Probably not. A Mania? No. Because again, these are shows that I'd probably have to be high to go to.
Right.
A horror convention, like I said, I don't tend to, I went to the last one. I smoked before I went in there, and then I just stayed the day inside until I came out. I didn't, smoke throughout the day. Wrestling, I'd probably have to go like 3 or 4 times. I don't know. Wrestling, I need to be more higher for it to enjoy. Also, I don't know. It's just different for me. But Midwest is Midwest. Those places in the Midwest are the straight. There's places that are kind of wild and rough, like I said. Everybody got different laws. Always best to obey your local laws. I always tell that to people as a word of advice. Just obey your local laws. This way nobody gets in trouble. I don't condone smoking weed to anybody unless it's locally legal. If it's locally legal where you are, then smoke ahead. But if it isn't, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend you to break the law. I never would tell anybody to break the law, try to break the law, try to get in trouble to break the law, sneak around the law, do anything legal on a state basis.
How high are you?
I'm not even that high yet. But I would never proclaim to break the law.
Yeah, but I'm not babysitting people. If people want to go out and get high.
No, they can do whatever they want, but I would never say, hey, everybody must smoke weed. Because everybody can't smoke weed. It's not legal for certain people to smoke weed.
Why not?
Even in my state, there's people that have professions that it's illegal to smoke weed. If you work in a jail, you can't smoke weed.
Yeah, but why can't we push it?
Because we're not criminals, or I'm not going to push criminal behavior.
Trump supporters always push Trump on us. WWE fans always pushes WWE on us. Why can't we push marijuana smoking?
Because those two talk about a lot of criminal shit, and we're not the same. We're different. We've never pushed our beliefs on anybody.
We're a lot more chill. That's what we are.
But we've never pushed our beliefs on anybody. We've allowed people to live their lifestyles. People want to smoke weed, cool. If they don't. They don't like it, coolio. They're addicts, oh well. We don't have stands on people's lives. We don't judge here. We never have. Unless we about the same things we talk about. If you're an abuser or a pedophile, then we'll probably take you to shreds online. Other than that, we're not talking that way.
Too much work if we talk that way.
A lot of people aren't worth it. They're not worth the hostility. And like I said, tonight we had a great interview, great conversation. That got me interested in wrestling. But 99% of the time, I'm like very demotivated myself. Just because shit happens. But you see someone full of life. You see somebody full of aspirations and dreams that they still want to achieve, and in your heart that these things that they're looking to do aren't unattainable. Everything that girl said she wanted to do right now in wrestling, she can do in the next year. She could travel all the states, wrestle in Mexico, Canada.
Poor girl.
She could go to Supernova right now and go to Canada, wherever. She could go anywhere in Canada. She could go anywhere down south. She's coming from one of the top schools in wrestling. She has one of the top wrestlers backing her. I mean, whether she gets the WWE or not, I don't know if that was one of her dreams. I didn't hear that part, but everything she said at the end, she could do easily. It's not this far-fetched, oh my God, I hope I can, do it. It's this could all happen if I want it. And I think that's what's made wrestling different now than 20 or 30 years ago, is that everything's attainable.
Sponsor one of her matches.
But it's attainable. You want to wrestle in Japan, it's much easier now than it was, 30 or 40 years ago.
Oh, hell yeah.
But these are on.
We saw a match event in Japan. It was like a special treat.
Oh yeah. Now you can, you can get booked over there quite regularly if you want to travel. I do like what she said, and that probably gets her booked more often. Is that not every wrestler needs a flight? They'll travel and a busload of people. You can get 4 wrestlers for a very cheap cost to travel together and cut them rates in quarters, and they want to wrestle. They want to get paid a fair rate, but you got 4 of them coming. You can get a good deal. Carloads are always better. People always, book couples too. Same reason. They're coming together anyways. Why not use the other person? They might give you a discount. People splitting gas, they're willing to travel, they're willing to drive. That saves on a flight. That makes people a lot more easy to book. Nobody wants to pay for anybody's flight, especially when the flights cost more than the wrestling.
This is the plan. We start investing in her. Then when she gets to WWE and stuff like that, we have our in.
Just be the NWO of pro wrestling and pull strings to get her in and make her your golden child.
I mean, it's cheap to sponsor her.
Just keep sponsoring her as much as you can everywhere she goes until she gets to like GCW and push her right into the public's eye. You can do anything with money in wrestling. I mean, you could become a wrestler yourself right now with enough money.
I mean, I don't want to be a wrestler. Are you nuts?
You could start your own promotion and it doesn't matter. You could put a title around your waist with enough money right now.
Okay, that's fine with me.
There's people older than you, much more out of shape than you, that are holding titles in New England right now with their own promotions because they can. Just because they can.
The out of shape. Okay, I'm a little out of shape because before divorce, Victor was getting some. After divorce or during divorce, Victor's not getting anything. So Victor's out of shape.
Loss of cardio.
Lost of cardio. Thank you.
But when you think getting rid of the wife, you would have lost some of the meals. Or was she not the cooking type?
No, she cooks.
So you would think maybe you would have eased up on some of the meals.
No, it's just no cardio.
You had to do more takeout, didn't you?
Well, when you start off single life, yeah, you do a little takeout.
More takeout, less physical activity. But I'm talking about people double your size right now in New England, holding a title in their own promotion. 400-pound dudes right now in New England holding a title in their own promotion, and then going to conventions and signing autographs. And you're telling me things like we could do whatever the fuck we want.
Pretty much.
People do anyways.
I'm sure. I bet you if you sign up for Cameo right now, they'll accept you.
I think I already have Cameo. I think I'm like $5. Cheap. I think I am. I believe I am on Cameo for $5. I think I do shout-outs. I forget. I know I set something up in 2020.
I saw Tomatana is asking for $10,000.
No, I do it $5. I'll call you. I'll call your mom. I'll call your mom's moms. I'll call whoever the fuck you want. Tell them whatever the fuck you want. $5. The only thing I won't do is blow horses, watch porn in fucking Texas, or jerk off in Texas. Other states, we can negotiate, but not in Texas.
This is why the Cowboys are going to be so bad this year.
They are. They can't even blow each other, which they've been used to doing for years.
Dallas is going to be a complete train wreck this year. I'm going to fucking love it.
Haven't they always been a train wreck ever since Aikman left them? Be honest. Facts are facts. Aikman and Emmitt Smith are the best thing to ever happen. And starter jackets are the best thing to ever happen to fucking Dallas Cowboys. The only thing other than known for is their hot fucking cheerleaders. Everything else sucks.
Their cheerleaders are.
They used to be hot. I don't know about now. 20, 30 years ago, they were fine.
Now it's just kind of like.
Are cheerleaders even a thing? I don't even know. Are we not supposed to objectify? Do we got guys dancing?
There's
I honestly don't know, honestly.
You know what? I don't know either.
I could see a couple of dudes coming out shaking their asses and everybody being cool with it. Like,
yeah.
this is America now. So, like, I honestly don't know. I mean, we were talking about a different time in wrestling. I would guess that cheerleaders wouldn't be so objectified too in sports, that they'd become more performance or more professional, that they wouldn't be looked at as objects. One would think. I don't know. Because, I mean, you see boxing, you don't see these half-naked ring girls walking around anymore, do you?
Not really.
Not like it used to be.
I'm saying so. Like, how can you see them? Because it's always like a bunch of other people or celebrities or musicians, rap stars are in the ring at the same time as the girls.
Yeah, but they used to make it a point to show at least the girl for a second or two.
It's awful when you jerk it off over one of them. They also see right before you come. Also see Elaine.
Fuck.
No,
Fucking night's ruined. Fuck it.
Awful.
Oh, that is terrible. Well, as you know, I won't be on the air tomorrow night. It's my kid's birthday. I will be back Thursday night with all my local and crazy ass humor. So you're probably never gonna get a guest from the Midwest again, but that's okay.
Never. Do I try?
Nah, we probably can. I honestly, if they hated us, they would have left a lot earlier. They would have left after the first time I mentioned blowing horses.
I know. I was there for it. Check out. I was also for a leave.
Nah, honestly, they're pro wrestlers. Do you really think talking about blowing a horse is the worst they've heard?
You know how people are.
But everybody knows that Vince McMahon shit on one of his secretaries. So we've already got that topping anything that people could be doing. I mean, unless you're a diehard animal activist, you're not going to be too fucking moved by those comments.
True.
I would love for a PETA person to come on, though, and discuss the fucking ramifications of blowing your horse. What it does for the horse. Why these laws should be in place to protect the horses. I would love for a PETA person to come on and spend an hour with us and tell us these rules, why these things should be in place. Because they haven't even spoken up against it, which is very surprising to me. You would think that they would be against people blowing their fucking horses, and they're not.
I may snoop around next. Find some.
You
people.
should snoop around next and find someone from PETA and get him on here. Tell him we'll talk about animal cruelty, and then we'll just fucking shoot him with the old. So why is horse blowing legal in all 50 states?
Click.
Fucking God. Be like, I guess they admittedly say that. No comment.
All right. On that note, we're out of here.
I'll be back Thursday, everybody. I'm sure you'll be doing something fun tomorrow night for the folks. We're out.
Later.